For those not familiar with Alvin Plantinga's evolutionary argument against naturalism, it goes something like this. Since, as the theory of evolution states, that the brain evolved through natural processes and not supernatural ones to serve the purpose of survival rather than serving the purpose of knowing truth, then the reliability of beliefs produced by such a brain will always be questionable. Because although knowing truth would certainly be advantageous for survival, not all beliefs that are advantageous for survival will necessarily be true. Naturalism, or in this case more specifically ontological or metaphysical naturalism, is the position that only natural phenomena exist and supernatural phenomena do not. Since naturalism asserts something about objective reality, it essentially implies that the brain can, and in fact does, know something about objective reality. Therefore, belief in naturalism is incompatible with belief in evolution because naturalism says that the brain absolutely knows something about reality, whereas evolution says that the brain may not be able to know anything about reality. In summary, Plantinga argues that you can't coherently say that the brain evolved for survival primarily and that the brain definitely knows something about objective reality. In the case of naturalism, specifically that the supernatural does not exist. The main problem with this argument is that it is a straw man. It says that you can't believe in both evolution and ontological or metaphysical naturalism as if these two ideas have anything to do with each other, or that one implies the other. Plantinga doesn't seem to understand that evolution is an empirical scientific theory, and as such, it has absolutely nothing to say about ontological or metaphysical naturalism, because empirical science has nothing to say about ontology or metaphysics at all. It criticizes science by criticizing a position that science does not actually hold. Science actually agrees with one of Plantinga's premises, namely that we do not know, and perhaps cannot know, when we know the truth about anything. It is precisely because we don't know when we have the truth about anything that science demands that every scientific theory be criticized, tested, and when necessary revised if it doesn't match with observed experience. But then you may say, but science says that the supernatural does not exist and that evolution occurred through natural processes alone. Well, no, not quite. It says that natural processes are all that is necessary to explain evolution, but it does not, and in fact cannot, say that there were no supernatural elements participating in evolution. Science does reject attempts to incorporate supernatural elements into scientific theories, but that's not because science asserts the non-existence of the supernatural. It's because for the purposes of science, supernatural ideas are essentially useless. The whole point of a scientific theory is to explain observed phenomena and predict future phenomena. Saying that a particular phenomena happens supernaturally does neither of those things. Another argument that Plantinga makes is that if our brains were designed by God for the purpose of knowing truth, then it would be far more likely that our brains are perceiving the world accurately. But given that over the course of the history of science we have gotten far more wrong than we have gotten right, and we still don't know which of our current scientific theories will have to be revised in the future or perhaps even completely abandoned, the idea that our brains were designed for knowing truth seems pretty ridiculous.